Hi, and welcome to Knit All the Things. My name is Laurel. I'm also known as West Maven on Instagram, Ravelry, and here. If you're new, this is a space where I talk about all the things I'm knitting, all the things I want to knit, all things yarn, just all the things. And if you're returning, welcome back, knitting bestie. I can't wait to catch up with you. In this week's episode, I'm really excited to share with you my progress on my Divino pullover. This is a brand new pattern by Claudia Quintanilla, and I'm really loving it. It's turning out beautifully, and I think you guys are gonna just die when you see my progress. I also have been swatching like crazy for the Rosie Sweater. This is a pattern by Lene Holme Samsøe. And I also have the latest issue of Laine Magazine, which I can't wait to share with you. So grab your project, get cozy, and let's go. Guys, I'm so excited to share with you like these knits today. I really can't wait. But let's quickly talk about what I'm wearing. This is the Rhoda jumper. This is a pattern by Lynn. I believe I knit the third size. It has a lot of positive ease. I used Illimani Sabri 2, I think. Whichever, it's 1 or 2, it's the worsted weight or the heavier weight one. It is a cotton yarn with about 15% baby alpaca. It really is a great garment because, one, it has all these holes. It's a summer morning still here in Portland. It's probably mid-70s. This is a good garment to wear though, because of the holes, it's not too hot, and with the cotton yarn, it really is super comfortable. I think it's really cute. I like, it often falls off my shoulders, which I don't mind, and it has this really pretty like cabled pattern, and then kind of like stripes in there, if you can see that. I really love this sweater. I wear it a lot. I gravitate towards it a lot. I like that it's oversized. I think if it were not, I wouldn't want to wear it as often. So I do really like the kind of oversized fit. And yeah, it was a very fast knit because of the open like cables or lace, whatever we want to call them. It just went by really quickly, and I really should make another one because I do like wearing this one a lot. I don't know what color I would do. Maybe like a cobalt blue would be pretty. But yeah, I really, really like it. Okay, so let's talk about sweater progress. This is in my Black Pearl Magic bag, which I love. I love the little, like, this particular bag I think is really pretty because it has the glitter and then the pink kind of different. I wouldn't call it not matching, but it's not like super matchy, which I like. I got this a couple of years ago, I think at Sacred Sheep, but I really do love this bag. And it's a great size, and I actually like that it's see-through, especially when I'm like grabbing a project to go, because I definitely want to see if I like do I have my like stitch markers and stuff in there I'm gonna need, and I could just glance really quickly. So yeah, and obviously I have a little cute bag thing. Okay, so let's talk about it. This sweater, as soon as I got this sleeve on, I became obsessed. I think it's so cute. I'm tempted to try it on, but I really want you guys to see like the full sweater done. But look at this sleeve, is so beautiful. This is like an all over textured sweater. There's this beautiful cable detail in the raglan and then down the side. And I really love that the cuffs are like nice and big. I really, really think this is a beautiful pattern. If I haven't said, this is the Divino pullover. It is a pattern by Claudia Quintanilla. She just released it this last week, so make sure to go check it out. I am using Brooklyn Tweed's Veil, which is a lace weight. I think it's I forget, but I think it's a Rambouillet. And then also holding that with Sandisk Garn Soft Tin Silk Mohair in the colorway Gray Steel. Steel Gray. And I actually want to say this might be the colorway Heron. I don't know. Like, this is discontinued. In my newsletter, have been sharing the substitute yarns that I found that would kind of fill this need if you wanted to hold like a wool and a mohair. Otherwise, the way the pattern is written is 2 mohair. But I'm really excited that I did use the gray because it was in my stash. I had purchased it without a thought of what it was going to be. And so just being able to use it has been really nice. And I think it is going to be really nice to wear. This is a top-down sweater. You cast on, you mark off where your raglans are, and you start in pattern. And then I did, once I split for sleeves, stop and go back and pick up and knit the neckband. And I love this neckband. The neckband is a folded neckband, and it's not only just folded, but it also has short rows in it. So it's so clever how she has you actually pick up and knit, and then you do the short rows, and then you basically mirror them so that your inside fabric is going to be the same as the outside, you know, part of the neckband, and then you tack it down. And I just think it's such a beautiful finish. It really, really is elegant. And then with the sleeves, you have a nice thick cuff, and you do an Italian sewn bind off. And it's just, honestly, every time she chooses her finishes, I think they're like top tier. I really think her sweaters are always beautifully finished. And yeah, I can't say enough nice things about it. I will, however, mention I don't really recommend this sweater for a beginner because everything's knotted, that's okay. I don't recommend it for a beginner because you have to keep track of a bunch of things. So you're like keeping track of your raglan increases, which I did mention this last time, but I will mention it again. Make sure to mark them. I didn't do this and I regret it because life would have been so much easier being able to see where I had done increases. It's a compound raglan, meaning that a regular raglan, you increase on the raglan arm and the body all the same at the same time. So you'll have an increase row and then maybe some rows that are not increases and then an increase row. When you have an increase row, you're increasing on the body and the sleeve. And there's no difference. On a compound raglan, you maybe start out, just like I said, body, sleeve, increases are all the same. And then at some point you switch to a different rate of increase where the body is maybe being increased more frequently than the sleeve. So that it gives a better shape. I really think this is a very well thought out pattern. The shaping is beautiful. I tried this on. And as soon as I tried it on, especially with the sleeve, I was like, oh my God, I have to finish this because I really do want to wear it very badly. So I highly recommend this pattern. Not if you're a beginner, but if you're not a beginner, I really think you'll enjoy it quite a bit. The yarn I'm using, I was a little hesitant with the Sandus Garn 10 Silk Mohair, only because I feel like it has, so it's mohair. I don't have a ball band with me right now. It's over there. It's basically mohair, silk, and a little bit of wool. And that little bit of wool, I feel, causes a little bit of thickness to it. Both of these yarns are also non-superwash. So I do think that once everything is blocked, it will have a little bit more movement in the fabric, but it isn't going to be as flowy, let's say, as if I had held just 2 mohair together, because the mohair and silk kind of does create that a little bit more flowy fabric where the wool is going to give it a little bit more structure. However, trying it on, I didn't feel that the wool was doing anything bad to the sweater. And I really do think it will be so nice to wear. So that is the Divino pullover by Claudia Quintanilla. Also, if you're super into like sets or you like to match your knits, she also has a matching skirt that I believe will be releasing very soon. So that is, again, the Divino by Claudia Quintanilla. Last week, or my last podcast, I was telling you guys that I wanted to cast on the Rosie Sweater. This is a pattern by Lene Holme Samsøe, or Lene Holme Samsøe. I'm not sure exactly her first name pronunciation, but she goes by Laine, and I have wanted to knit one of her patterns for a while. I actually have a knitting book by her and I just didn't make the item yet, but this I really wanted to make. And so I realize that I kind of made a mistake in a way because I posted, I don't know if I'll post it here, but I created on using AI to create a mock-up photo of like what my sweater kind of I want it to look like, or like the vibes I was going for. And I posted it on my project page and before I swatched. And a bunch of people reached out saying, what yarn are you using? Like, I love this sweater. And I feel bad because it doesn't exist. So I did change the like classification, or I put like a caption saying it's AI. But if you guys are interested or would like a video on how to mock up a sweater idea, like I did here, then let me know and I will create a video for you. But anyway, what I was thinking was I would swatch with a couple of different yarns to see kind of how I was feeling. So when I did the AI photo, it automatically made my leaves not the same color as the roses. And I kind of did like that, but I wanted to come up with a way to do it that would make sense for me. The yarn I'm using is non-super wash, so I feel like my first thought was that I would hold a kind of neutral color for the contrast color. Well, let's start here. For the main color, I'm using Knitting for Olives, No Waste Merino, or I think it's No Waste Wool, and then they're Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair in licorice, or whatever their black is. So that's my like main color, the Knitting for Olive black yarn. I also really wanted to use this No Waste Wool, and so far just swatching, because I have used the merino before and I've used the cotton merino. And the one thing I did notice with the No Waste Wool that is different than those other yarns, it isn't like, it's just slightly less soft, not in a scratchy way, but it's just not that like buttery feeling, but it's soft. It almost has, to me, almost a slight cotton feel. It's in no way cotton, but I don't know how else to describe it. Like a little bit of that dry feel to me, but it also seems fluffier, or like the plies are not as like tightly wound. So it kind of almost gives a little bit more of a fluffed stitch in a way. I think a little bit more than the merino. And then, so that was my main color for the Rosie. And then I had Treehouse Knits had Serendipity, which is just like a one-off color. And I think I got this in like a mystery bag, I believe. But it's this really pretty, it's got like purples and maroon and a little bit of beige and a tiny bit of green colors in it. And I honestly am really bummed because I have two of the skeins. They look super similar here, but when I was winding them up, one looked definitely more red. I think it was this one. So I was going to start with this one first because I just liked the color a little bit better. And then I was going to hold that with Volanvine fingering, well, I think it's Volanvine Nouveau base. And this is in her colorway Krampus. And I actually knit an entire sweater with this yarn and this mohair. And I thought this would be really pretty with this for the flowers and the leaves. So I was thinking I would hold this for the leaves and then I would hold this for the flowers. And I really think this color is very neutral. I mean, it can lean green or it can lean red pretty easily. So that's kind of what I was thinking. So I swatched that. And then the only other thing I thought was, well, what if the roses are not looking red enough for me? Like maybe I'll use this one as my fingering just to see what that looks like. So that's kind of what I swatched. And I will show you where we're at. So the bottom of the swatch is all of this neutral color, either held with the Surrey that I was showing you or the mohair, the green mohair. And then the top rows up here is this fingering. So I don't see, honestly, a very big difference in between this one and this one. Like, I don't have a preference, to be honest. So I think I will go with this one down here, because what I'm thinking is for the contrast color, I will hold the fingering throughout for all of the contrast color, and then I will alternate the leaf and the flower. Because this is all non-superwash, I am going to do ladder back jacquard, but I did a flat swatch, which the sweater is in the round while you're doing the motif. It kind of looks like a drop shoulder, but it isn't. It's an interesting construction. So it does look like it's a drop shoulder, but it actually isn't. You're doing the motif in the round. So I do think that there could be more interesting pooling that will end up happening on the roses. And like I said, I think with using the mohair and the Surrey, like just dropping, like I will still do the ladder back jacquard, but I don't think the floats will be too big of a deal because everything's gonna be kind of sticky to begin with. But I really think this will be a pretty combination. And I really do like the difference of the leaves and the flowers. I think that's gonna make it fun. And it's just subtle. Like, it's not, like, you can tell that the leaves are a little bit green. I don't know, I think it will be nice. The other option you could do is you could do ladder back jacquard and then come back. Like, one option I thought of was use the same contrast color like I'm doing down here, and then do double stitch with the mohair at the end, but I don't think that's gonna like make a difference. And then one other thing I had thought of and kind of wished, I think I am gonna stick with this, but part of me had wished that I had a little bit more vibrant flowers, and then I could have done a little bit darker green, but I just don't think that that's gonna work. This is, I think it's Cumulus Surrey. It's a really beautiful green. I really do like it a lot. And yeah, but I don't think for this project it will work. So that's kind of my plans for the Rosie. Again, if you guys are interested in a video on how to use some sort of AI tool to create a mock-up of your sweater like I did, let me know. I've had a couple of requests on Ravelry, but if you guys are interested, I can definitely create something for you. Now the part we've all been waiting for. We have the new Laine Magazine. So this is Laine Autumn issue 2025. The theme is Crossing Paths, and this was released at the end of August. So let's talk about it. There's a couple things that, so this cover sweater I think is really pretty. It is a pattern by, so this one is called Jetland. This is by Alma Bali, and this is the cover sweater. It has a really pretty texture. I like the kind of contrasting color stitching kind of detail, or I guess it's kind of almost like an eyelet detail. I think that's really pretty. I like that it's a drop shoulder. There's a lot of really nice things about it. This one, I think I would definitely consider casting on. It is a little bit similar to the Divino that I am currently working on, so it wouldn't be like an immediate cast on for me, but I thought it was really cute. I also really like that they chose a neutral with some contrasting stitching, so it really could go with a lot of your wardrobe, and I think it's kind of fun. It is on the crop side if you look here on this picture, but again, very, very cute. I also, if you guys have been around for a while, you probably know I don't like short sleeves, or like whatever we call this. So if I were to cast it on, I definitely would make the sleeves a lot longer for myself. The other pattern that kind of came to mind, and probably my favorite one in this, well, there's a lot of good ones, but I think my probably, like, I would cast it on right now sweater would be the, oh, and really quickly, sorry, this Jetland. They also did it in a red. Again, very cropped. but super cute. Okay, and I like how it was just the 2 colors in that one. So I thought this by Irina Shar, which I don't know if I've seen her patterns before. She really had a beautiful design, and I think it's a little bit understated. Mostly because it's a bit hard to see all of the beautiful details. There's a cute little lace pattern. There's some like eyelets on the raglan. And then even I really have decided I like little details under the arm. So you can kind of see here, that little cute cable detail. I like it when they have that extra kind of beautiful detail. So this is called the Never Too Late sweater. I really think it's beautiful. I think that she called it the Never Too Late sweater because it's never too late to learn something new. And I thought that was really cute. But yeah, it's a really beautiful sweater. I think the shape is pretty. It's really flattering. I think the only maybe thing to consider, which I don't mind, but I know that everybody's not a big fan of, it does have a wider neckline. So you might consider maybe some sort of adjustment if you are not so into a wide neckline, but I tend to gravitate towards them and I think it's really pretty. The other one that I thought was kind of fun and honestly I could see casting on was this beautiful vest by Anne Michelle Phelan called the Gilly. I thought it was really cute. It has these really fun like patchwork pockets on it and it's just a like very playful vest that I thought was really fun. And I could totally imagine it in like a navy for some reason. I think would be really pretty. I also wonder if you couldn't like funk it up a little bit if you wanted. You could probably do a really simple intarsia and make a 2-colored vest, and then you could swap out the pockets for like the other color. Or I'm wondering if you could do something special with the I-cord edging. Just as like if you really wanted to like go crazy and make something really unique for yourself. I thought that would be fun. And then the one sweater that I was a little bit unsure of, and I'm still unsure of, there's like things I really like about it and things that I would want to change. I think it's a beautiful sweater. I think there's something about it that I would have to adjust a little bit because I'll show you. So at first glance, this is by Sumin Kim. This is called Bada. And I think it's really pretty. It's like an all over cable sweater. There's one thing, so first off, the more I look at it, the more I like it. But I think there would be something I would change a little bit. There is the way the sweater is, first off, this is like the best part to me. I love the bottom and how it has this like shaping. I think that's really cool. I really love the like chunky cables on the sleeves. I like that the sleeves are like nice and like voluminous. The side of the sweater is super cool. The one thing that I'm unsure of is it's called the, well, Bada. It's almost like has like a wave pattern on it right across the chest. So the cables are just slightly different right there. And I'm not sure my feelings on it. I think I would do it in a, if I were to knit this, I would knit it in a darker color, like maybe an emerald green would be really fun. But yeah, there's definitely pieces of the sweater that I think are just like absolutely amazing. Oh, and then Bada means sea in Korean, which I'm sure I'm pronouncing the word wrong, probably. But I do think it's a really fun one. And then there is the Semiotic by Anu Ahanami. And this one I thought was really fun, and I think you could like really play with this one. It's basically like, it almost looks like it's a bunch of symbols on the sweater. So I bet you could like play with your own charts a little bit in it to kind of customize it. I could almost see you doing like a bunch of letters or sneaking a letter here and there. I don't know. I think there's possibility with this one that you could really do something pretty cool. So I thought that overall this, oh, and then this, I really like a good cable cardigan, and this one really doesn't disappoint. It's by Simone Ryan. It's the Imi, I think. I'm probably saying that wrong, but it's really beautiful. Again, I love the cables. I think the neckline is really pretty. It's a really good one. So and the back, so this is one thing I really love. I like that there's a little bit different cabling going on all parts of the sweater. So on the front along the neckline, or along the neckband, there's a cable. There's one kind of in the middle of the front panel. There's nice cables on the arms, like continuous cables. And then on the back, there's a big like panel of cable. So I really do like that. I don't know that I've knit anything quite like that. I've done a vest where there was like kind of different sections of the sweater. And I remember it being a lot of fun, but it also is one of those things you have to like kind of pay attention. There's some very beautiful shawls. There's this one called the Wave Form. It looks like it's mostly garter. And so I think it would be a pretty like fun project to do. Quite simple. A nice like travel or like hang out and knit pattern, because I don't think that it's overly complicated. It actually is 2 triangles that are knit separately and then joined together. So I thought that was kind of interesting because I don't see the like various different pieces from the pictures that they're sharing, but I think it's really pretty. I think it'd be a fun, like easy, like I said, hang out and knit type of pattern. And then there also was a really cute sock pattern that they had. I mean, honestly, I'm not sharing all of them, but I thought these were really cute, like shorty socks. I could definitely see knitting these ones. They're like very elegant. I like the bright color they chose. And this was by Yuka Takahashi, and it's called the Hanano socks. So I really thought that was beautiful. I really think there's a lot of gems in this issue of Laine Magazine. And they also even have, like, the recipe looks super good in this one, I think. It could also be that it's almost lunchtime for me and I'm a little bit hungry, but I also think it's because it looks good. It is like a flatbread, and yeah. I'll pretend I can pronounce it. It's the Flammkuchen, a Franco-German version of pizza. I don't know, it looks yummy. So, really cute issue. I really think that I recommend grabbing this magazine and yeah, checking it out. Super fun. So, that's all I have for knitting. I have been listening to Ruth Ware's book called One by One. I love her writing. I really get almost bummed when I finish her audiobooks, especially because I like her narrator, and I also really like burn through them. I really want to know what's happening next. I love her style of writing. So I'm almost done with that. And then I think I'm done with all of her books. So if you guys have anything similar, please recommend it to me. But that's it for these couple of weeks. If we're not yet knitting besties, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and please like this video. It tells YouTube that other fiber enthusiasts like yourself may enjoy this type of content. Until 2 weeks from now, make some yarn magic. Bye!